Art is an abstract term that is hard to define. It is all around us. To some, it is conventional, only sculptures, paintings, and statues. But to others, art is much more. Take a look at this image. No brushes, chisels, or easels can be found here. Simply hundreds of people pummeling each other with pillows in the heart of corporate Toronto, Yonge Dundas Square. While it may seem like child's play, fluff, and feathers, these pillows carry a harder political message. Lori Kuffner is the organizer of this event. She is one of the founders of New Mindspace, an interactive public art group trying to turn Toronto into an urban playground.
We're kind of reclaiming the public aspects from the commercial side of things. If there's lots of people doing something kind of wacky in a public place in a city, and all the people who are walking around who didn't know about this event beforehand are kind of thinking about this space in a new way. So we're changing the way that they're thinking about Dundas Square, basically, and that's kind of interesting. And the people who are participating are, actively altering the public space.
Following in the footsteps of New Mindspace, Improv in Toronto is another group promoting the same cause, with events like the No Pants subway ride and Frozen at the Eaton Centre. Jared Allen is the mastermind behind their annual subway dance party. This year, they filled 2 subway cars, highlighting the group's growing popularity. What does a subway party look like?
Complete chaos. There's still people sitting down, but about 90% of the train were just moving and dancing. I think some people might have even been singing along. There's some people like hanging from those railings and stuff. It's crazy. Everyone had an iPod or MP3 player or whatever with earphones, so none of the music could be heard by anyone else riding the train, and it was just all in their own heads.
No Pants subway parties, bubble battles, and giant pillow fights, all in public spaces like this without permission or a permit. So you may be wondering how these groups are getting away with this. After speaking to the TTC, the Toronto Police, and a manager of Yonge Dundas Square, the answer became simple. You see, these groups aren't breaking any laws. Officials wouldn't agree to an on-camera interview, but did say that as long as these events remain peaceful, without the use of alcohol or loud music, it's all fun and games.
To an outsider, it's hard to consider this a masterpiece. But as OCAD professor Charles Reeves explains, art is always changing, and groups like New Mindspace might just be another chapter in the creative evolution.
As far as the issue of these sorts of things where the idea is to produce a kind of an event or a spectacle that's intended to sort of in some way disrupt people's everyday routines and stuff like that, even just at the level of like, what the hell's going on? They're having a pillow fight here. That's also something that I think has, not as long a history, but it's something that fits pretty comfortably within the history of art from, the beginning of the 20th century and now up into the 21st century. I mean, the more radical forms would be, a group like the Situationists in the mid and late 1960s who would sort of engage in activities that were involved in really sort of interrupting how people thought about the urban space with the intention of getting them to see things about how it worked that they hadn't seen previously.
Rethinking the urban space is still the goal today. As billboards turn our city into one giant ad, more and more groups are forming to fight back. Liam O'Doherty from Art Attack is optimistic for what's to come.
I'm really excited about all the different people that are taking these new initiatives and new kind of formats for creating an interaction between strangers in the public space. And it's really, really exciting to see all over Toronto. That's kind of what I hope to achieve in Art Attack, to create a space where everyone feels like they can contribute and that they are contributing towards making a better city.
For these groups, having such a beautiful city from afar means nothing when its core is overrun by corporations and plagued with over 1,500 illegal billboards. Their art may be abstract, but their message is in the eye of the beholder. From Toronto, I'm Felipe Leite.